I think it's time for a new update for geopolitics and economics. What is going on in the world? Let's see. So, basically, everything I said that will be coming true is coming true. Everything I said is coming true. Iran is not at war with the US. The B-2 bombers and all that was all fake. It was all just to play along. They wanted to make a deal with Russia to throw Iran under the bus, and that didn't work. They wanted to start a trade war with China, keep it busy, keep Russia busy, and keep Pakistan and India busy, and that didn't work either. So now Trump can come in as the savior, right? Offer a deal for Iran to not work on a weaponized nuclear program that they weren't doing anyways. So now Iran will stop producing their non-existent nuclear weapons, and Trump saved the day. So the regime is in full damage control because they can't look weak. All geopolitics is basically, if the regime looks strong, okay, you will hear about it, how they crush everyone, and how they win, and just like Yemen, right? And if they start to lose control and lose, suddenly you will see terrorist attacks, mysterious wars suddenly breaking out, or will look like they're breaking out all of a sudden. And that's all geopolitics is. Anyway, I'm glad the regime is finally taking the L, not officially, but they are taking the L, and this, or the Ukraine war and this trade war with China, this will mark the end and the decline. It will mark the beginning of the decline of the West, of the American hegemon in the world. What about markets? Well, markets are dog shit. The economic fundamentals are shit. We had a negative quarter, just like I said we will have, and that was before the tariffs. So I see some economists say that because of the tariffs, we will have actually a positive quarter next month, and that makes absolutely zero sense. They don't know what they're talking about, or they're just lying to you, because all the trade war does is just put an additional sales tax on Americans. That's it. That's what these tariffs are. They're a sales tax. And that lowers economic activity, and that will not increase economic activity. So next quarter will be -2, even more so than this quarter, and 2 consecutive quarters with negative growth equals a recession. The recession we're already in, but during the Biden administration, it was propped up with government spending, letting illegals into the country, giving them all these jobs to make the job numbers look positive, and that is coming to an end. So the only question I'm asking myself is, what will Trump do? Will Trump either cut rates and send the US into a stagflationary depression, like I said will happen, or will he actually allow markets to crash, allow a recession, so the US economy can actually recover and come back to normal? That is the question I'm asking myself. So if I have to make a educated guess, my guess will be 95 to 5%, because I've absolutely zero confidence in Trump not cutting rates. So 95% I'm on board with. I'm not on board with, like I'm not agreeing with it, but he will absolutely money printer go burr, cut rates, and send the US straight into hyperinflation in about 7 to 10 years from now. But this will mark the beginning of the stagflationary depression, similar to what happened in the 1970s. If you're wondering how that worked out and will work out, I wrote a book about it. It's called Awakening by Goldie Lion, which is me. Link in the bio. So the 5% is that he will actually allow the recession to recover and everything will more or less be okay, but he will not. He will absolutely not. So what you have to understand is each time they bail out markets, and also these hedge funds and markets, they're expecting a bailout. They're expecting it, right? Even hedge funds expect a bailout from the government, by the way. Imagine how crazy that is. Private hedge funds getting bailed out by the government. Trump's friends, right? So what you have to understand is each time they print money to bail out the markets, like Trump did actually in 2020 after COVID, that was 22 trillion dollars. But the money you have to print to keep propping up this bubble economy we're in, you need to exponentially print more. So what is the next bailout going to look like when rates are cut and everyone is bailed out and the economy is bailed out? So the last bailout was $21 trillion. So this one is $50 trillion. My guess is around $38 trillion. But we'll see. We will see, because we don't know which is off the books. We don't know how much is off the books, how much is actually printed via Fed swap lines, where the Federal Reserve is connected to central banks in Europe, which are then buying government bonds and injecting money that way. So that's off the books, right? There will not be in the M2 money supply. So you you let Europe and Japan print money for you, so you can enjoy the fruit, right? While these countries have the inflation. But because of the great job of Biden, weaponizing the dollar with punishing Russia, sending OPEC straight to BRICS, and killing the petrodollar, that was Biden. Now we have Trump, putting a last nail on the coffin of destroying the US dollar with the tariffs in the trade war. So the tariffs to China will be lowered from 148% to only 50%, which is still significant. But that manifesting in the US economy with higher prices will take 3 months, because you have 3 months of storage. So companies like Walmart, these companies, they buy storage beforehand in preparation for these tariffs to kick in, which they did. So now they have 3 months of supply to not increase prices, because contrary to what you have been taught about evil capitalism and stuff, is actually increasing your prices will make you your competition grow, right? So that's the absolute last thing you want to do when you are a corporation, is increase prices. So what they want to do is they will survive on these 3 months of supplies, and when those warehouses are empty, that's when you see the price increase. So it will be around June, July. And I'm predicting the stock market to crash just before the summer, so probably like around August. And then that will last, maybe half a month, and then you will see all these bailouts, and there will be the beginning of stagflation, a stagflationary depression, and then later on, 7 to 10 years later, you will actually see something, and if not something, actually pretty much like hyperinflation in the US. I know you don't believe me, but you'll see, right? The enders will see, right? Like always. So what I want to tell you is that we're entering stagflation, and yes, commodities will outshine, especially the tech sector, because the tech sector will suffer the most during stagflation. You want to own real value, but do not buy commodities now. Do not buy commodities now. You have to wait for the crash to come down and actually see, oh, here we go, the money printer is turned on, and this is the beginning of stagflation. Wait and see, and then see what you're going to invest into. I'm right now holding cash. I bought lots of gold years ago, and silver, and there you go. And then during stagflation, you will see inflation going up a little bit, like 8%, then go down again 6% next year, then go up again 10%. So it's not a straight line into hyperinflation. It takes years. It took Weimar Germany around 10 years. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care.